Welcome back to the series of building a blog in Laravel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create posts, edit posts, and delete posts. And let's get started. In the previous video, we made logins and registrations. So if you want to see that, check out the previous video. If you're new here, please check out video 1 as I take you step by step on how to build a blog in Laravel 5.8. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to get your PHPArtisan running. So you want to run, I'll just do it with you, PHPArtisan serve, click run. You should have everything working right now. You want to log in. So log in as your username, your email, and password. And now this is your profile. So what we want to do here is we want to make a button for adding a post. So let me just close off all of these. What are we going to say? I'm going to say div row, div call md. We'll just do 12 for now. We want a button. Or actually, we're going to have an a tag. Give it a class of btn success. It's going to be a nice green button. And we're going to have create post. And now if we view it, there it is. We can make it btn, I think it's btn lg. Okay, we'll do create post. Should we put it here? Let me see if I can put it up here quickly. Just ignore what I'm doing right now. If this works. Div. It's a little uglier. Sure, we'll keep it. Okay, so what I did here is I made a row and I split the screen in two. So call MD6 is the first piece and then call MD6 is the other piece. In Bootstrap, this has to add up to 12. So you can have a row that's 8 and the other one can be 4. You can have the other one, you can have one that's 10 and 2. Just think of your screen. If you split it in 6, that's your half, the other half is 6. 10, so it's gonna be a little bigger, and then you can have 2. So now we have create post, and we want to create a route. So if we go to our web, so if you scroll down here, routes web, click on that, and we have a post controller. Yes, we do. Let's make a public function create. While we're here, let's just make one for public function create submit, public function edit, public function update, public function delete. So we're going to create it, it's going to submit it, we're going to edit it, it's going to submit it. And this, I already know it's going to pass in a ID. So we can just do that. This will be a request. Same as this, and delete will pass in an ID. And now what we want to do is create a new folder. So go to your views, click new folder, and call it post. Make a new file, type in create.blade.php. Go to your FAQ page. I'm just choosing that because it's easy to say FAQ. Copy that, go over to your post. Oh, something crashed in the background. I don't know what, but paste that, get rid of all this junk, and then get rid of this. You can say create post, or this can be create/edit. Do create-edit, so just modify the name. So this can act as a create or as an edit. So what we want to do is in the create, at the top of the file first we want, before we get started. So the first thing you want to do is go to your web, go to route get profile, and we can do create. We can do post controller at create name. We'll do we'll do post create, and then we want one for edit. So it's a post create. We'll do post edit. So it goes to the post controller to the edit function. And now obviously when we want to edit, we have to pass in an ID. So you can use these squirrely brackets and type an ID. And what it means is the URL will look something like profile/ID of 5 edit. And then what we're going to do in the function is we grab the ID and then we check if it's there, like if it actually exists, and if it exists, then we can edit it. Okay. So now we need a route post to create. So we can do a profile/create. Now these two can be the same name because one's a post. If it's a post, the route can be the exact same, except the name will just have to change. So we can just copy all of this, paste it, create, submit, and we'll just say create, submit. We have our get. Now we need an update. So we just copy that. Update. Update. Good. Now we need one for delete. And is that a post? Yeah. We'll do profile. Oh wait, profile post slash. Should we do post? Or should we just do slash? You know what? Who cares about the profile? We'll just do post. So the URL will just be post. Post/update. Now it's wrapped in the auth middleware, so that means you still can't access this route unless you're logged in. And this one will be post delete. Change this to delete. Change this to delete and change this to delete. Good, good, good. Let's just return a view of, what is it? Post create -edit. Okay, so now if we go to this function, we're going to return the view of post create edit. And let's go back to our profile index. And in here we can specify route. What is it? Post edit. Did we name it post edit? I mean, what am I talking about? Post edit, post create. No errors. If I click it, create post. It's going amazing so far. So now what we want is we go to our post and we're going to have to make a form. So we can do div row div call md12, and then we can make it form tag. So class, we can make it form control. The action is going to be route post create submit. It's going to go there, and it's a post method. We'll need a form group. Let me just see how this is done. Oh, there we go. So we'll need this, and we'll need a label. Label for ID of, what do we name it? Title? Title. So it's gonna be a type text, class form control, message is gonna be, now we're not gonna have no placeholder. Label for title, and we're gonna say title. So let's see how it looks. Very, very ugly. I think because this is it. Let me get rid of this. There we go. Actually, I don't really like how long it is. So let's make, instead of call md12, let's do call md5. A little bigger. Call md7. Okay, good. So now we can use this piece for something else. So we have a title. Now we can copy and paste that. We'll need a title, a slug. We got slug, good. Now we need a text area. So a text area will be our actual post. So the ID is going to be called, say, message. This label 4 has to be equal to this ID. And now we can change this to message. Give this a nice class of form control. That's bootstrap styling. Let's see how it looks. Good. And then the one last thing we can do is we can have input type submit value create post. And we'll give it a class of btn success. Good. And then we can also have a reset button. I believe it's just reset. And we'll give it danger value. Okay, good. So if you click this, it will clear it. If you click create post, it will create the post. Okay, so next step we want to do is, what do we want to do now? When we click submit, we want the stuff to go over. So we go over here, we have to import some classes first. So we want to do use app user, and then we want to use app post. So we want to get the users table, we want to get the posts table. And the first thing we want to do is we want to validate it. So Laravel has something called Laravel Validations. This is something we didn't do yet, and we got to do it. So here it is. Request validate. Let me see, where are we? So you just want to dump it here just really quick, just ignore it. And then we want to copy this. So if there's any errors, we want to show the error. And then we want to put that at the top here. So what this says, if there's any errors on the page, then we want to loop through them and then just output them as a list and give it a class of danger. And that should be good. And then we can also do this class title is invalid. Class title. Oh, cool. We got title already. So let's test it out. So in here, let me just go back here. You can specify many validation rules, such as accepted, active URL, array, if it's before a date, if it's a Boolean, if it's a date, if it's in the array, size, start with something required unless. If you want more information, you just click on it and it brings you down and then you can read it. The most popular one we're going to be using is required. And then we'll be using this unique in a second. And we want to have a max length of, let's say, 190 characters can be your title. So now let's go back and let's generate an error. So just click create post and page expired. And that is because we did not do a CSRF token. So we have to pass in this CSRF token. If you guys want to look up what a CSRF token is. It's a cross-site request forgery. CSRF, just read over it. It's pretty much, it's a token that uses the sessions, and then it's pretty much like a token that has to be like encrypted, decrypted. I'm probably wrong on this CSRF. Cross-site request forgeries are a type of malicious exploits by unauthorized commands are performed on behalf of the authenticated user. So for example, I was doing some type of security. If I'm authenticated, I can run like commands on your application. It's very complicated. Pretty simple to understand. Anyways, for you, all you have to do is do an @CSRF and you're good. Now, let me just double check if everything works. I hope it works. There we go. The title field is required. Now, I don't know why it's not highlighting. Does this work? Form error. I think you might have to create it. Did we do an has error? If feedback has error and if it's weird that's not working. Maybe it's just a version that's not working. Anyways, we'll get back to it after. Let me check something. If error has an email, if error has title, then we're going to dump it. Okay. So just for this, one pixel solid red. So if I'll explain. There we go. So what I did is I just made a quick class called air, and I made it as a border, one pixel solid red. And then in here, I said if the error has title, display that class. So now we just want to do it the same for all of them. So if it has slug, and I just realized we're missing name in all of them. So this is name title. This is a name of slug, and the text area, it's not a name of name, it's a name of message. So now if I do create post, obviously the title is required. So the next field we want is called slug. We want it to be required. We want it to be unique among posts. And we want it to be a max of 191. And same as message, we want it to be required, not unique, and a max of, let's say, 500. The message field is required. Does not work on text areas. Oh no, we never added it here. So if errors has message, show the error class, and then it should be all red. Bam! Look at that. Looks amazing. Okay. We're 22 minutes in. Let's get the show on the road. So now what we want to do is, once this is all, this will return. So now once it's all validated, we will make a post equals new post. We're making a new object. Let's just save it right away. So that's how you save. And then we want to say post title is equal to request title. So we're setting the post title. So in the database, post title is equal to request title. And if we do a dump on request, let me just add in a random title, random slug, random message, click create. What's this? What's going on? What is going on? Maybe something with this. Yes. Let's see, Laravel unique. Laravel unique validation. Unique member. Unique surprised it didn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay, so unique posts, and it has to be a slug. So the slug is the unique piece. That's all we're missing here. So now when we dump the content and we go to our request parameters, this is what we can extract from the request object. So we can get the title, slug, and message, which we set in the create edit. So now if we go back here, and then we just do post slug is equal to, now we want to remove all the dashes and replace them with string replace PHP. We want to replace all the dashes. Replace the character's word. Replace the character's world in the string hello world with Peter. Okay, so replace. We want to replace all of the spaces with dashes in the with request slug. There we go. And then obviously we want to have a post message is equal to request message. Once that is saved, we want to do a session flash success message. Your post has been created. And then we want to return redirect to the route of post view, which obviously we do not have yet. Just comment these both out, and at the top here we'll just do use session. Okay, so let me test this out. Remove this dump. We'll say title is my new blog. I love to blog. Hey there, how's it going? Create post. User ID does not have a default value. We have to provide a user ID. So remember here how we have user ID. We can just do post is equal to user ID is equal to auth ID. And at the top here, we just have to specify use auth. So we're getting the authenticated user's ID. So now if I go back, create post, we have an empty page because obviously we're not redirecting anywhere. And if I reload, hey there, how's it going? I love to blog. And see how it's replaced by dashes now instead of spaces. Pretty cool. So now in the edit, instead of ID, we're just gonna have slug. And let me see here. What else are we missing? So we got that good. Now we want to edit the post. So in the home page, we want to obviously show the posts. So let's show all of our posts. So let me see, Bootstrap, show posts. No, Bootstrap. Let's check out some components in Bootstrap. Version 3.7. We want to check out some components. Some labels. No. Some panels. Yeah, let's do panels. So now what we want to do is we're going to grab all of the posts. So in our profile controller, This is where we can go to our profile controller. We want to import the post class, so use app post, the namespace. And then what we want to say is post is equal to post where user ID is equal to the auth ID. Remember that we have to import auth. And then we want to order by created at using descending, and then we want to get it. And then let's transform it to an array. Good. Now we want to say data is equal to an array, posts, and then we want to pass posts over like this. And now we want to pass in that data array into our view. So now everything in here is accessible in this view. So we want to go back to our index for profile. Let's make a new row, div call MD. We'll do call MD8. And now we can say for each posts as post, we'll have this panel, and then we can say post title. Let's see if that works. Go back, we'll go to our profile, and my new blog. Cool. And now underneath that, we can just have a button. That could be, we'll do an A tag. We'll have two buttons. So the first button will be to view. So class BTN, what's secondary? What color is secondary? Oh, we need a view post, and then the next button will be to edit. So we can do route instead of this being, we'll do post slug, we'll do post edit, and now we want to pass in the slug, so we want to say post slug. And this will be a class of BTN warning, and we're going to name it edit. Refresh. It's not an object, it is a array. So now if we click edit, we're going to go to post I love to blog / edit. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Oh, I'm frozen here, but we'll keep going. And now what you want to do is you got all of your posts. Let's make another one. My second blog post. This is my second post. I really want create post. Obviously, we're not redirecting anywhere. If I go to the profile, oh, while we're here, we're in the home page. I want to go to my profile. So in the navigation, we can go to partials, navigation, and then in here we can go to routes, and I think we named it profile.index. Save it, and we're back to the profile. So my second post. Now, as you can see, it is now, the second one is now on top, and the last one is at the bottom. So now you can view the post and you can click edit. So now let's work on the little edit piece. Actually, I'm going to end this video right now. It's getting kind of long, 34 minutes. And on the second one, we'll do the edit, and then we can do the update there. So thanks for watching. See you guys in the part 2.